Yeah, because like you have way more control than you have in like with twin sticks. Okay. So. Okay, I am recording this workshop, so like if anybody's gonna be watching, they can understand what the fuck is happening.
Where are they? There?
What?
Fuck you.
No, they're over
Should have
there.
been here.
No, they're over there.
Oh, fuck you.
Over there.
Should have. Over there?
Yeah.
Or over there?
Over there.
Over there?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I have a couple of cameras set up. If you see my camera, like you know where it is. So, I wanted to use this camera in this world because like I can show things and like we can snap pictures. So in VR, you hold it and then you right stick to control the aperture, and then when you're holding it, you can also grab the lens with your left hand, and then if you move forward and backwards, that controls the focus. Move left and right, it controls the zoom.
It's turning me when I try to. The aperture's working, but I can't get the other.
Well,
thing
yeah,
to work.
you need to grab with the left hand. You need to grab the lens,
Oh, okay.
and then you move your left hand back and forward to control the focus, and then left and right to control the zoom, or turn. It's a
Not
little bit.
working for me.
It's a little bit finicky. And well, like, did you grab it?
Yeah, I'm grabbing it right now. Like it's right here, the focus one.
No, because like you have
And
to like.
oh, there's zoom. Yeah. I see now. Okay, it's
Okay. It's finicky.
Focus. Yeah, it's not working the zoom for me. I'm having the thing held in my hand right now.
Yeah, you will figure out. Okay, but the main point of this
Yeah.
workshop is not just like controlling this camera.
Oh, you have to twist it. Okay.
Yeah, you have to
that's
you
what
have
it
to
was. I
twist
have
it.
to
You have to twist it and like move forwards and backwards for focus. Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
tricky, but
Okay.
it's actually easier in desktop, which is funnily enough because they're just like buttons you can just control. So this workshop is called How to Craft a Shot, and this is a very general workshop. We're going to be using Monkey as the subject.
Monkey.
Yeah, he's going to be chilling, because Celeste actually has an insane amount of detail and like points of interest, so we can just do whatever. He's just gonna sit there and exist, and we're just gonna be taking pictures of him. But the main point of this is to figure out how to find those points of interest and how to make sure that they are the most important part of the picture. So to kind of explain everything, I'm getting pinged. Okay. Yeah. So the main thing with any kind of photography or videography is everything is your tool. Like, I want everybody to think that everything is your tool. So you have the model as your tool. You have the environment as your tool. You have your camera as your tool. And then you have like where you're positioned as your tool. You have your lighting as your tool. So that's kind of like all of the primary tools that you have at your disposal. And all of those things should be used as tools to serve a picture. So what are you going to be doing on the picture? Fairly straightforward. So you want to find the point of interest. How do you do that? When you look at a given model, I'm going to go around and like, what is the first thing, like instinctively, what is the first thing that springs to mind? Tetra, what is the first thing that springs to like what is the first thing you see on this avatar?
Probably the colors would probably be the first thing I notice.
The colors, like which colors?
Yeah.
The
Where does
the pink.
where does your eye first go? Here?
To the head first, yeah.
To the
Yeah.
head first.
There first.
Okay, Milky.
Yep.
Where does your eye go first?
Definitely the head and the hair and like bust up, but also the skirt
Okay.
and the wing a little bit.
Bisa, I know you can't talk, but you can type. What do you think? Okay, Bisa, we're gonna let you figure out. We're gonna let you figure out.
It's Y to type. And dusky.
Needs type in Discord. Yeah, you can press Y to open the chat box. And then you'll be able to type. It's Z. Okay, yeah. Well. Technology, everybody. Don't we love technology? Okay.
Oh, that's strange.
Milker.
You okay there?
You okay there?
Yeah.
Monkey.
Okay.
Head first and busiest. Lots of cosmos. Exactly. So everybody first went for the head, which is correct. On any human, the head would be the first thing that you want to see and the first thing you want to put your eyes on. Okay, so we've identified the point of interest, the face. Now the question is, how do we capture that? And like, how do we use all of the tools at our disposal to showcase the face? Now, the most obvious one is to just take the camera and just do this. You can look at it. You can look at the. Let me also pull down the aperture. Okay. So, still off.
Yeah, telling what you're looking at in that little lens is not easy.
Yeah, I know. There you go. So, I mean, this is, for all intents and purposes, a picture. It is
It is a picture.
It is a picture, but like, it's not a very good picture, and
No.
it's just a face. So, what is it? What is it missing? Yeah, one of the pictures of all time. Yeah, what is it? What is it missing?
Focus.
It does have focus. The face is in focus.
What? Oh, it's not for me.
Yeah, you should be able to see that. But, well, like, I mean, the face is focus. Like, it has focus.
Oh, it's broken for me.
It's amazing. My tip is barely in focus. Yeah, I mean, it's just, whatever.
I would say if I was answering, I'd say interesting composition. Because right now the composition is kind of boring. It doesn't really capture your...
You're on the right track. So what it's missing, it's context. Just the face by itself is like, well, it's a face. Cool face. I mean, If we wanted to just have a mug shot, yeah, that'd be pretty nice. But that's not what we want. Marker. But that's not what we want. So we want to have more stuff. So a good way to do that would be to reposition it. And this is where the rule of thirds, or the grid as we know it, comes in very clutch. Whenever you're using the grid, what you want to do is position your point of interest on one of the lines, usually on one of the vertical lines, so that it's somewhere there, because that's where your eye will naturally kind of wander towards. Now, one thing about rule of thirds is you want to be careful with it. And if you taking a picture and putting it on one of the lines, like let's simulate some lines over here. There we go. So now we have the face on one of those lines. Now, the reason why, like, does everybody see that it's looking this way? This is important because your brain will always go towards where the eyes go. So you look at this picture, the next point where your eyes will go is over here. So you want to towards like the rest of the picture. And because if we do the other way around, it looks like a mistake. I mean, actually, I need to probably do this way. It looks like, why is it over there? Like, it's not. Now, that being said, there are cool ways to do it, even with that. But that's up to kind of like the feel. But the idea is that you use, in this case, could still work with right. Yes, it very much can. But the main thing is, like, you want to use this as the main guide for crafting your shot. Now, this is cool and all. We can spice it up. We can make the shot
ratio, aren't we?
We can make the shot even better. Let me.
Angles.
Exactly. I'm gonna go a little bit like this. And now we have some context. Now we have more of the body. Now we have more information. But the face is still the point of interest. It's still the main thing in the focus. So with this picture is still about the face, just like the previous one. But it's showcasing way more of the avatar. It's showcasing way more of your subject. And so if you want to showcase the subject, that's how you want to do it. But you still want to have the point of focus be the face, and have everything else rest be like out of focus. It's fine. Now we can go and do more things. So for example, we can do this. It's completely out of focus.
It's in focus for me.
It's funny, it's now focused for me, yeah.
Okay, well.
Same.
Is it out of focus now?
No, it's in focus now.
Okay, it's in focus. Well, whatever. It's going to be out of focus for me. It doesn't matter. But here, we all, again, have just a picture. I'm probably going to move this over here. Yeah, we have a picture. Cool. I mean, it's a good picture, and even the face is on this line, so it is in the correct place. It's on like the point of interest.
Yeah, no, I feel like this world is a bad example because it is not, her tits are on that line for me.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be.
It's like the camera is off entirely.
It's gonna be slightly.
It's strange.
Because like it's whenever it updates, but the idea is that like you see it like
Yes.
this is amazing. Hello. Okay.
No.
Index.
Hello.
Are we back? Okay. Index. We're back.
No, don't die, dude. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Don't copy me from yesterday at the beginning of the.
No, my index is just dying. It's fine. I should be fine now. But now we have kind of just the face and just like it's here. It's whatever. It's not interesting. There's nothing interesting about it. But as soon as we move it just a little bit and reposition it to one of the lines, the picture immediately becomes more interesting. There is like more space here. It's showcasing like just the space. So this is just one of the tools that we can use, which is the position of the camera. Now we can use other things like the model itself. So without changing anything about the shot, Red, can you like lean into the picture like this? Yeah,
A little bit of action pose for shortening.
yeah. Perfect. You don't need to keep it. Thank you. But with this, it's the same face. It's the same on the same spot, but now it's an action pose.
Bring
now
interesting shapes.
Yes, exactly. And so we can use all of this in combination to create an even cooler shot. So now, Red, if you can do the same pose again. Yeah. I'm gonna use a little bit of zoom. Okay. That's probably good. With desync with cam is kind of bad. That's
I was
annoying.
gonna say just
Yeah.
look at the camera when he's taking the picture. It seems to fix it.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. So like,
Yeah. So everybody look at the camera when he takes the picture.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Still not in focus, but it's in the right spot.
Okay, it's not in focus. Okay, good. That's actually good that it's not in focus. Come on. Focus. VR chat, why you gotta be so annoying?
A little finicky.
Yeah. Okay. Me.
Do you guys hear that the entire dev team for Neos VR quit today?
Oh dear lord.
Oh, I mean, it's
Okay.
about. Oh, now it's in focus. Oh, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
now we can see it.
I wasn't taking the picture. Okay. I was just leaving it and
It
it's
looks
like
good.
okay, now it looks good. So there we go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, now we have an action pose because we've moved the camera, we've moved and then we slightly zoomed in. Like I didn't even zoom that much.
No, that looks good.
And this shot looks good because it's like on this right side. Because if it was just in the middle, it would just look kind of awkward because you feel like if they're in this pose, they want to move somewhere here. So you want to have like a lot of space. So they're just like coming in here. So this are essentially the tools that you can use to craft any shot. And
And if you actually in VRT Lens itself, you scroll all the way over, you can actually pull the grid up on there too. So
Yes.
you have
Yeah.
difficulty
Yes.
visualizing it.
Yes. Yeah, this is the reason why I draw this. But
Yeah.
when you can use all of these tools to position, again, remember, the main point of this is the point of interest, the face. It's still the main thing, not the hand, not like the colors. It's still the face. So the main thing is the face, but now you've added story to the picture. Because initially, when we had the picture of just the face, it was just the face. Cool. But now there is story. Now there is emotion in here. What are they doing? What are they trying to achieve? Like, are they going for something? Are they like? And these kind of questions, like, there doesn't have to be an answer. Like, what do they want to do? What do they need to do? But if the viewer of the picture has questions and they're interested, they're immediately invested in the picture. They're not just like looking at the picture. They're like, oh, what is happening here? What is, like, there's something interesting. And so this is kind of the baseline of how you craft a shot. And this applies not to just photos, it applies to video too. The same way, the same grid of thirds applies, but 30 times a second. And so the same positioning
Real
could be
film.
applied. Yeah. What do you want to say, Milky?
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
that's why.
I was gonna
Sorry,
say
go ahead.
we always have a grid on our screen whenever
Yeah.
we're recording the
Yeah.
video as well to keep it in mind constantly.
Yeah, and
Yep.
keeping the same kind of logic and kind of questioning what is happening, where they're going. Because, well, with video, you have more control. You have actual movement, and so you can tell a story. With photo, you have to leave people more or less guessing, like figuring out. Now, we're going to add an environment to this, which is another tool. So let us add probably that one. That one would be good.
I'm really big.
You might want to.
Yeah, you want to scale.
How tall? Tall as this or tall less?
A little bit
Probably,
lower
you
than
see-
they were like you would be
see the
about real
grate,
life.
The lowest grade,
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. one lower.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, probably a little bit lower. Yeah.
One lower, yeah, because
That's actually good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, perfect.
That'd be about where
just-
you'd be.
do you think she'd be able to reach the lamp, really?
Nah, it's whatever.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because it's like it's a.
Because I was gonna say the bottom of those two lines, but
I mean, you can scale
like
a
a door
little
like
bit
this, I would
more.
be standing about here.
There you go.
yeah,
Climb
that's
tall
better.
cell.
I think that's
Okay.
more realistic for a girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, she looks to proportion now.
now again, I'm not changing any of the settings. I'm not gonna be changing any of the settings. The only thing I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
just
doing.
make sure to watch when he's taking the picture, otherwise it won't sync.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be repositioning myself and like moving him around a little bit. So where I want you to be, can you stand over here? Yes. Yep. And then do just kind of like a casual pose, because you're like tense up. Okay.
Yes. You guys
Okay.
just make sure the.
Waiting for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Now, this background is a little bit specific, but that doesn't matter. The main point is we're using the other kind of thing in the environment also on the lines. So when your eye moves from over here to over here, it goes to the correct place, to the nice place. And it nicely frames the subject. I'm gonna use a different marker. It like frames the subject nicely. And so this is something that whenever you're taking pictures, it's there is no good way to explain it without like actually practicing it. But the idea is that your kind of main things are somewhere on those lines, and then anything else interesting is on the other lines. So if you have two kind of big and very noticeable things, because you're not missing that door. Like this door is massive. Like when you look at the picture, you're not missing that door.
It's darker than her.
It's way darker. It's essentially another point of interest. But your brain will still go to the face because that's what we used to. That's where we're like,
yeah, you're
know for
wondering
it.
what she's doing there.
yeah. And so by having it like very proportionally, very organized, it provides you with a nice and clean and organized shot. This is something that seems like obvious, simple, and to an extent, like you can make any shot work this way. The kind of funny thing is, what I found with pictures is there is always a way to crop a picture to get this formula where a point of interest is on one of the grid points, and then everything else is also on the grid points. And if you do that, every single shot you basically put out will be amazing, and everybody will say like, wow, this is the best picture they've ever seen. So with this, I don't think I've said anything fucking Red Mag, I swear to God.
He keeps twerking.
I see you, motherfucker. So with this, there's nothing revolutionary. There's nothing like there's a crazy trick that everybody hates. But this is how you want to approach your photography moving forward. That's how you want to approach your videography moving forward. Is always make sure to keep your point of interest on the cross section. Like the cross sections are the best points to have your point of interest. And you can go even further. Like for example, right now the face is not quite there, but like the ear is right in the cross section. You probably want to have the eyes there. So I would probably want to crop this picture in a little bit more to just like make it nicer. And that's basically it. But then what about the other tools? What about lighting? What about your other camera settings? Because, for example, a lot of pictures on VRChat, they're missing focus entirely. And and focus is such a powerful tool. Jesus Christ, I almost knocked everything. Okay, focus is such a powerful tool that whenever you just turn it on, it immediately transforms your picture. So let's see. Yeah, it has full autofocus as default. Yeah. The best autofocus in VRChat is semi-auto because you can control the aperture. But let's see if we can take the same picture in this world with and without focus. And we'll see. Red, can I have you come out here a little bit? Like over here where I'm standing. Yeah, and then float up a little bit. Okay. And just stand. Okay. Now, here I broke some rules. I'm not over here, but this picture has focus.
Yeah.
And so being on the grid is not required.
No, definitely.
This one. Because the focus
the
does
focus
all the lifting. The grid is good for when your shot doesn't have any focus, because that way you will ensure that what you want to have as a point of interest will be immediately seen. But with focus, you don't have to. And just like any shot becomes practically immediately good. And so with focus, you can emphasize things further. You can showcase exactly what you want. Because without focus, well,
There's a lot more information to process.
exactly. So
Yeah.
now you see this, you see this, you see this, you see these
I
sharp
even
objects.
look at the top thing, yeah.
Exactly. So with focus and properly positioned focus, any shot transforms into a shot where your viewer looks exactly at the point of interest. And the same thing with video. Exactly the same thing with video. Because especially if the background is very information dense, not to mention the much lesser perceived depth. Exactly, that's another good point. You don't, if there's no focus, there's no depth, because your brain has been trained for a millennia to understand depth with things go in and out
The
of
way
focus.
our eyes perceive things.
Yeah. So without any focus, you're just like,
the world's
well,
depth
whatever.
of field.
Yeah. So if I were to turn off and do the same shot, now it's fine. It is fine now. It's just okay.
because there's nothing behind it.
Yeah, there's nothing behind us. But even now, where your eye will go first, well, probably here, but then it'll immediately jump over here. It will go to over here. It will go to over here. It will be jumping all over the place.
It's not in the rule of thirds. So.
It's not in the rule of thirds, but even if it was in the rule of thirds,
It still looks a little strange.
it does look a little strange, because your eye still, while it does go here first, and rightfully so, and it kind of stays there, it still jumps everywhere. It still goes everywhere. But if we were to introduce focus,
Might even look at that shadow in the corner.
exactly.
And there it goes to that.
But if we introduce
Yeah, and there's nothing around it, like Issa said.
that should be good. Now, basically, basically the only thing you're focusing on is here. And so these are the tools that you use in any situation. And whenever you're doing, for example, if we take on event photography, what are the tools that we do not have any control over?
During event photography, the subjects in general, they're usually could be the subjects, what they're doing.
Yep.
Basically everything going on around you.
Exactly. You cannot control the subject, you cannot control the environment, and you cannot control the lighting. Like we cannot control lighting here because this world is not for that. I have another world that we can go for lighting, but that's slightly outside the scope of this.
That's
But-
the next class.
Yeah, that's the next class. I mean, yeah, I can make classes on how to properly light things. But in that case, the only thing you have is what you have in the camera, which are the zoom, the focus, and, well, to a less extent, the aperture. Which, for all intents and purposes, like, I almost never touch. In VRChat camera specifically, I set it to 15 and I leave it at that. I basically never touch it.
For what? Aperture?
Yeah, for aperture. So on semi-auto, you just set it
See,
and kind of forget it.
and then there's me. I love auto or manual cam on here. I think it's great.
The manual cam is good, but the problem with manual camera is like there is no way to specifically find like the focus point, which is, and so you might miss the focus a little bit. So that's where the semi-auto kind of comes in with clutch.
I see.
So another thing you have is your positioning on an event photography. You can reposition yourself and your camera in kind of any way in any angle, and those are essentially the two tools you have to get any shot. And in some sense, it's a lot easier to do event photography because you only have those two things to control. And if stuff doesn't work out, like, well, I mean, the shot didn't work out. It's whatever, because like you cannot get every single shot. That's something that is impossible. But when you're doing modeling photography and when you have a model and you have this control environment, you have way more variables to control and way more options in terms of like how do you want to put the shot. And the big thing is you want to use everything. Whenever you're doing specifically modeling shots or any situation where you have control over the environment, the model, the lighting, you want to use that. You want to control it to tell what you want to tell. And what you want to tell is you want to tell an emotion. You want to tell a story. Why are they there? What are they doing? Because if it's just a documentary picture of a person, like, that's a mugshot. Like, you just do this. It's a mugshot. Like, it's just a mugshot. There's nothing else about it. It doesn't tell any story. It's just this is how this person looks like. That's the only thing that it does. And so by using all of these tools, you can create a shot. You can craft a shot that tells the story that you want to do. So what I want to do now is to kind of give... We have some time. We have a little bit of time because I don't want this to run more than an hour. I want to give each one of you a task, and I want you to, with that camera, to achieve that. So, Milky, we're going to start with you.
Okay. Yeah, let me look at the
Familiarize yourself with the controls.
I can't read Japanese.
Well, basically, to
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, so it's 4 and 3 controls the aperture, Q and E controls the zoom, 1 and 2 controls the focus, and then the IQJ controls the rotation of the camera.
Okay, I will.
Now,
this is really difficult on this.
Now, it's gonna be fun, but that's kind of the cool thing. Like, you can still get a shot. So what I want you to do is to showcase specifically Red's dress. How would you go about showcasing the dress? Because like that's the point of interest that we want to showcase is this amazing dress. What would you do to showcase the dress?
Here, hold on. I gotta learn the controls for a second. A little. What is the zoom in and zoom out?
Q and E.
Oh, okay. And then what was the other two? I'm sorry.
4 and 3 controls the aperture. 1 and 2 controls the focus. The main thing you want to worry about is the focus. So 1 and 2. 2 more, 1 less.
Oh. Okay. I am really bad at posing people without having my body to do so. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
There you go. So,
Sorry about the clipping.
No, it's okay.
Limitations of VR.
limitations of VR. There's going to be a workshop about limitations of VR and like how to overcome them.
Yep.
1 second. I'm sorry, this may take me a little bit longer just because I'm tiny.
That's okay. This is the main thing that you can do with modeling shots is you have time.
Mm-hmm.
You can take your time
Yep.
to kind of craft the shot that you want to craft.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy on her because she's in dust.
Yeah, these days with photography, I use a mixture of the rule of thirds, the phi grid, and the golden spiral nowadays with a lot of my stuff. I've gone beyond the
Yeah.
basics.
Yeah. Funnily enough, like I rarely use anything other than the rule of thirds. I almost always just stick to the rule of thirds, or sometimes even break it completely.
Yeah.
Think?
What I tend to do is I'll use the rule of thirds when shooting, then when it comes to editing and cropping things properly, I'll use the golden spiral and the phi grid to crop
Okay.
things
That's not
afterwards.
exactly what I wanted to do.
Okay. You want to retake that?
I wanted it a little bit. Okay, that's as good as I'm gonna get in Desky because I can't really see. I would have liked if
Okay.
I could change something.
Okay.
I
yeah.
would have liked the dress in focus, but I
Okay.
couldn't accomplish that in desktop
'Cause that-
right,
'cause
with
that-
that
'cause that's
camera. If I did it with the VRC cam, I could have seen that, but I can't see it on the tiny screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really good. And I've given you a very dastardly task because
Yeah, also I would be a tiny bit more zoomed out and maybe a little bit more angled up to see her crown.
okay. So you've done really well. Let me pull up the grids real quick. Because in this case, actually the grids play a major role. Yeah, that's good enough. So what you've done really well is you have positioned the entire body looking that way on this side, close to this line. So that's really good. And with some cropping, with some editing, you can get it like positioned exactly. Now,
Yeah.
the point that you wanted to do is to showcase the dress.
Yes, like I said, I would like to be a little bit more down and angled towards.
So,
where the
to
dress
showcase-
is in focus, but
To showcase the dress is mostly on the back. And with your shots, it's like it's from the front. So it is there, like you're still kind of the first thing your eye will probably go is like somewhere around here. So it will probably land on the skirt, but that's not the point of interest. So if I were to tackle capturing the skirt specifically, I would do something differently. Let me show you. Red. Okay, that's good. That was a good pose. So
Yeah, I see the shot you're going. That's a good.
I
And
wish.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could turn the camera like
Yeah.
that or not.
Well,
I would have totally done.
Portrait mode. Yeah.
without turning. And again, I would probably go slightly zoomed out more, and whatever. But the idea is that
Yeah.
we have the face still somewhere near the lines, but we have our point of interest, the skirt,
The dress.
right in
Yeah.
like square on the spot. And this way, the skirt is showcased. So that is something that if your point of interest that you want to showcase, you have to have it be pretty much directly and fully visible on this section. Now, this is not the only way that you can take that shot and showcase the dress, because you can go and do it. This way. You can do it this way. It's out of focus, whatever. But now
Yeah.
it's also over here on the focus points. So we're losing the context of the face, but that's not important. Getting a face in there,
You're showing off the skirt.
exactly, because you're showing off the skirt. So that's how you can show off just the dress, because that's like the thing that you want to show off. And I could have done it slightly differently. I could have
I would have shot at low angle with the dress going up towards the body, have the main portion of the focus.
the first time I did it, it was over
It's
here.
so funny
I did-
to me when
There
your
we go.
accent comes out, Tetra.
I have an accent.
Apparently you do.
It's funny.
But like there's like this cool design, and it's right over here, so it like captures the attention. And that's how you can craft that shot. Okay,
I know I
so
have a little bit of a lisp.
okay,
I'm like,
You just sound.
sorry.
so
Sorry, we'll talk about it
Back on
after.
focus.
back on focus. We're working over here. So this is how
My bad.
we would tackle this. So now we're gonna ask you, Tetra, to grab the
All
camera.
right.
And Red, can you pull out the scythe and make a cool action pose with the scythe?
Fuck did it go? Hold on. Oh, there it is.
I feel like I'm going to be taking a picture of the scythe.
Yes, but there's gonna be a twist because you're in VR and you can like angle and reposition it.
Yeah.
I want you to grab a shot of this area of the scythe, but there's a twist.
Okay, okay.
The face has to also be in the shot because we need to know that this cool thing on the scythe is being held by this character. So
Okay.
and you can
I'm
you
going to
can
switch avatars up because my feet are getting in the way. My
yeah
body.
you can ask Red to like do a different pose. You can
Actually, the pose is fine right now. If you can look over his shoulder towards me, that'd be great, though.
there you go.
About there.
You want me to get rid of the whiteboards for you?
Seems to be fine.
Adam. Yes.
Okay, let's take a look. There we go. So, very nice, very nice. So you have this here and this here. If it was possible, we would have had slightly shallower depth, like slightly less depth of
Yeah.
field, so that everything can be in focus. But that's besides the
Yeah.
point. What you've done really well is positioned it, but funny thing, it would be even better if you had the face up here, and then this point would be down here,
Yeah.
so that it goes throughout the entire shot. So this is really good, and you did showcase the picture. Now, one thing, there's more things that you can do to make it even cooler. For example, for bonus points, for this specific shot, you could go for having this line be exactly, well, almost exactly on the line of the grid. Like, I know we don't have the grid line, but whatever.
Yeah.
And also have this edge of the to be on this line. Like, what this does is it guides the viewer's eye, so they will have their eye all either over here first or on their face, and then it will move to the other spot, and that way it travels across the entire image, showcasing everything. So this is how you can do basically any shot. And we've seen right now that if we want to showcase, like, if the coolest thing here is that star, you showcase that it's a star, it's the scythe, it's the cool scythe, but it's not just a scythe, it's being held by this character. So that's the wait, what the fuck? So this was really good, and this is how basically any picture that you want to take should be kind of thought of. So whenever you're snapping a pic of Milky sitting down, you want to showcase Milky, and like that she's sitting down, and showcase the face, because that's the most important part of the avatar. Unless there's something even cooler or even more interesting, like, I don't know, the neon pattern or whatever. So that's the thing. Bisa, how do you want to give it a shot? Take a picture? Okay, let's go. So grab the camera.
Same pose?
No. Hide the scythe. Bring up the portal.
I think another good class for people that aren't experienced with it is working with directing the model down the road for one.
That is something that we will be doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, just like the main idea is to follow the rules and main ideas. If it's not in focus or whatever. Okay. Right, what I want you to do is like strike a powerful pose like right over here. Just like a powerful pose. Cuz like the idea is that you're like the coolest, you're like basically the ruler of the cosmos essentially. Now, Bisa, what I want you to capture is both this and all of this. And the idea is that this should be kind of the primary, but it's showcased in this world because everything is cool about this. So how would you go about doing this?
I think this would be a good point to talk about framing and guiding lines, because that's
Yeah.
that's when you start breaking the rule.
Exactly. There is no...
Rules are meant to be broken.
Okay. We have a shot. Now, oh yeah, nice. Yeah, tell us when we have the shot. Okay. Yeah, the main one you want to worry about is the Q and E, which is the focus, which is the zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time.
Also balancing the photo.
Sorry, I'm my head's now going through all the different rules I've learned for photography. Lots of self-study. There's a website that goes through a lot of the rules I might post in the media thing that I used back when I was learning them. It's a
do it.
brief overview stuff. I just gotta find it again.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah. It starts talking about like guiding lines, framing a subject within the where you're shooting. All the more complex rules.
Yeah, there's a lot of actual like rules to learn and
Yeah.
but honestly like none of them really matter because the main thing that you want to always do is just have usually the face somewhere on the grid of face.
Yeah.
If you do that, everything else is like 10-20% of the quality of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So
For me, I felt like learning the rules, then finding out how playing with them, learning how to break them properly was the way I grew myself. It's good to know them, but you don't always have to follow them.
Is that the shot? Then jumping into VR. Okay. So good idea by putting it over here and keeping the lines over here of the whole of the whole picture, keeping the subject over here. Now something that I've said before, when you see the character and you see their eyes, where does your view go? Over here. You don't see this. On the first like look over, you do not see this. I need to do this real quick. On the first.
Yeah,
you might be
I can hear
looking.
you.
Is my mic picking up? Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yep.
I just had thing.
Yes, it is.
We can hear you.
It's picking up.
Fucking load of bullshit.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So when we look at the character's eyes, they go over here. We do not see this picture. So the better approach to this would be to actually go to the other side and capture the same shot, exactly the same shot, but from the other side.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to read red from
It
the
is.
distance and
Yeah.
with the
It is.
viewfinder, especially on desktop. It's fucked. That's what I was saying. I would never want to do this on desktop. Like even when I record static background footage for my videos,
There we go.
I do it in VR and just
So,
stuff some
in this
footage in my
case-
headset so it doesn't turn off.
Whatever side you're on, he will be looking kind of away from the shot. So
Yeah.
if you position in the middle, like looking straight at the camera,
Right.
you can like put him on the side and this.
And you can have it framed better in the photo
Yeah.
as well.
What I would do if I were to take this shot, I would do this.
The complex. Yep, that's what I would have done too.
Yeah, for pose, definitely.
Yes, so that he's in the middle, his face is on the line, and then we have this entire thing in the shot. So that's
Yeah.
that's kind of how you can capture everything, because like this is a big thing. But also there's another thing what you can do. Red, can I have you come out over here?
It doesn't help.
So, like,
that
over
red
here.
is still scaled down,
Yes, somewhere around here. And do the same pose.
and the stage is not. Stage is not scaled down with Avatar. Yeah, with
And I give her that more powerful pose by shooting
Yeah.
lower.
More powerful pose by shooting lower, and now we're having the face on the top line and kind of showcasing. But this picture misses focus. So then now what we're looking at everything, and like our eyes are wandering everywhere. But if we introduce some focus, there we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so now we're showcasing both red and we're showcasing the outside, the environment.
Right.
But the point is still on the face. It's still the main priority. So that's basically that. And there are endless kind of combinations that you can use to achieve the same effect. And that is to showcase what is the most important in the picture. Usually is the face. And so with all of that, you can kind of go in and try stuff. You can try putting people on lines. You can try putting people off the lines. But you should only do that when you know for 100% that it would make sense. But if you put people on these lines and cool pieces of environments on those lines, 99% of the time, the shots will be pretty good. I've talked for an hour. Thank you, Red, for being in the model.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
have?
thank you,
Thanks
Red.
for those not.
Yeah. Do you guys have any specific questions? I'm here to answer all of them.
I don't currently. I might come back to you later.
I'll come back to you in 3 to 5 business
More of a
days
refresher
with more
on the
questions.
basic- It's more of
I
a
need a little
refresher on
bit
the
for it to
basics, but
boil
it's
in
nice
my
to
head, you know?
Yeah.
bit of stuff like side.
What, Bisa?
I have absorbed the information
I was
like I
saying
showed
it
you
was
in
more
the,
of a
in
recap
the
of
gift.
basic stuff, but it's always nice to intuitive things like that code.
So the thing about basic stuff is, whenever you are getting into
Really nice.
any creative project, or like any creative sphere, you're always like chasing the kind of the nice new shiny things, new kind of intricate techniques. You're always looking at them, but then you keep always forgetting that
Yeah, good
like most of the things are just basic, and you can do amazing stuff with just the basic stuff. And if you have the basics figured out, everything else is like, again, as I said to Tetra just a little bit ago, all of those advanced techniques, all of those advanced rules, camera tech, all these drones, all of them give you additional like 10, maybe 15% quality over the base image, because with just those basic rules you can get the image 85% of the way there. And you only need those advanced techniques when you want to show off against some other person who's like doing amazing shots, and those small little things would make a difference in the shot. But 99% of the
And that's
time
why I
you
have
take pictures,
cameramen.
it's just basic stuff. You don't have to overthink it. Your goal is there to capture something that is interesting in the best way possible.
And at time as you practice them and stuff, it'll just become second nature to you. Start doing a lot of stuff without thinking about it.
Exactly the same way like riding a bike.
Yep.
And so this is just something that once you this becomes like second nature, you can understand like, and you start to see that your picture is becoming way better. Like you can go from a regular like iPhone picture to a professional DSLR picture overnight by following the 3 basic steps that every single photographer hates.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Which you could also follow on your iPhone and it would still look better.
exactly. So the funny thing is like the technology is not really a problem because you can make amazing shots on literally a kid's toy camera, and I've seen people do it.
You,
So
yeah, I mean, people take pictures with Polaroids.
exactly. So because
This is why I get pixels.
because like if you use because camera is just a tool, it's just one of the tools. If your camera is literally a potato camera that can only shoot one way, you still have all the other tools. And only in the situation where you literally have no tools to control, then that's like whatever shot you get. But you usually always have some way to control a situation, even with no control over the environment, no control over lighting, no control over the model, and no control over the camera. You can still take cool shots by just positioning them correctly and positioning stuff in the frame correctly. And so with that, I kind of want to just let you all go, let you all simmer in all of this. And remember that all of this is simple. There is nothing complicated. The rule of thirds is always in every single camera, so it's always there to help you out. So you can just always, basically, always put the point of interest on the lines and you'll be golden. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will now go day.
Go to bed, Dan. Go sleep.